nice city, a day in the life. I was on my own, catching a ride with the lady. Her hair hangs down past her thighs, blue and pistol. She satisfies, leather jacket, zipped up tight. Big ones coming, look for lost and found. Iron gleams, bright and night city, where your appetite waits you out to sunrise. She pulls my trigger, got me up alright. It's a danger pretty here in night city. Here in night city, got me up alright. Here in night city. The way you chase and tease me, get me up so high. We're on the rooftop and you don't compromise. Too many hollow, empty bodies lying around my street don't testify. You got to whisper now on your arm, and so we keep on moving. Gotta take it slow, no. It pulls my train, got me up alright. It's a danger pretty here in our city. She pulls my trigger, got me up alright. It's a danger pretty here in our city. Here in our city, got me up alright. Here in our city. She pulls my trigger, got me up alright. It's a danger pretty here in our city.
What it do, Chooms? Welcome to Space JB. I am your host with the, I was going to say the classical host with the most, but we better than that out here. I'm your galactic guide, your info bro, the main net runner in your team. Unless you need a solo, then I can be that too. But I am your hammer. I am your nail. I am your engrammatic host, Space. And thank y'all for tuning in to this video. I hope y'all are doing well and taking care of yourselves, being safe out there, staying you, staying loved, staying taken care of, and progressing these days. Can you dig? We kicking back, man. We gonna be dabbling into a few things. We're gonna be I'm gonna try to start all my streams off by just chatting with some of y'all, catching up with some of y'all, seeing how y'all are doing out there, you know, before we get into our festivities and all of that stuff. But yeah, you're sexy people out there. You're sexy, ooh baby. But right now we jamming a little bit of I love the radio stations in Cyberpunk. If I'm being honest with y'all, like I'm finna jam a little Moro rock from Cyberpunk 2077. The fucking tracks. Oh. Hold on, where my guys at though? Where my guys at? I'll never fade away. But y'all know. Do you know? Black Dog by Samurai? Do you know? Anyway, just hanging out with y'all for a little bit before we get into some things. I might be playing some Cyberpunk stuff. You never know. Pattern here, right? Anyway, so one thing I wanted to talk to y'all about, since we here already, I gotta ask y'all, how many of y'all really were surprised when it came to the TikTok situation where some of y'all favorite influencers were lying to y'all? You know what I mean? Like, were y'all really surprised by that shit? So I bet some of y'all were. Hold on, I gotta go grab my chapstick. Y'all know how it is. Run! Okay. 1 second. Oop. Now I gotta go use the restroom. Give me a second. I will be right back.
Concrete canyons, squinting neon eyes. The door beside me, a shadow needing light. Stuck the back street, never at ease. Locked in a chase, battle never cease. A bloody moon, pretending to another
Sorry about that. Thank y'all for sticking around. I thought I had to number one and I had to number two. But like I was asking, how many of y'all were really surprised that some of your social media influencers were lying to y'all? Because in all honesty, I wasn't shocked. People people think that just because people are on social media that they are some type of gurus or they know it all or they have it all figured out or whatever it is just because they have popularity on that stuff. And that's not the case whatsoever. That's not even close to it. Some people just have one talent that they exploit over and over again because that's what people want to they are entertained by that. Like how many people, like people who go around making asses of themselves, being a buffoon around in public, being a nuisance and stuff like that, cringe streaming and all that other stuff or whatever you want to call it. And people subscribe after subscribe after subscribe, and they give these people money. And it's not because they want them to be successful. It's because they like seeing them crash out. They like seeing them go down the toilet bowl. You know what I'm talking about? And there's also people out there that understand that they understood the algorithm. They understood the angles and the effects, and that's what they did. Instead of fucking going to work, a job, a regular job, no, they figured that out, and that became their job. I'm not mad at them because of what they did and how they exploited people and made their bag and did all that shit. I'm not mad at those people for that. What I'm saying is that for the people who were shocked by that, where along did you decide to suspend disbelief and just go, all right, I'm in it for whatever they tell me, I'm gonna say yeah. Like in the fitness industry, the industry that is my regular job, so many people lie about if they're natural or not. So many people falsify that stuff. And the thing that I'm still trying to wrap my head around is where do people, when they follow along when it comes to their favorite social media influencer, especially if they've paid them, spent money on them and all that stuff, when they're just shoving products down their throat, where did it become surprising that you found out these people were on steroids? How much of a shocker was it to find out that influencer got a BBL or whatever the hell it was, and it wasn't their natural cheeks? When I've said this before, if you got a backside like that, you got to have the legs to match. Okay? You got to have the quads. You got to have the hamstrings. I'm not saying that they got to be super muscular, not in the slightest, but the thickness has to match. You can't be built like a damn rooster and expect me to think that that's natural. Built like a damn chicken. You got your legs are the size of a toothpick, and then you got a beach ball for an ass. Just dump trucking, swinging it all, what do you say, wide and outside. You know what I'm saying? And people were shocked that was a BBL. They were shocked that this dude who's been ripped 365 days out of the year, who has delts the size of a goddamn planet, who literally is both huge as hell and shredded as hell simultaneously, acneed up, whatever, and they go, natural. You could do that. The hell you can. Genetics do play a part in a lot of things. Yes, some people have, peak demigod-like genetics. And still, there is a line where it's enhanced and natural. There's a line in the sand. So, with that fact, the fact that people were just outing themselves, it was funny because the whole point of me even getting on social media when I started to do TikTok and all this other when I started to just do TikTok. Let's just keep it at that, because that's the main thing that I post on outside of doing YouTube content. When I started to do TikTok content, the whole part of me doing my TikTok content was I wanted to come to you all as confident and comfortable with who I am and what I was going to be showcasing on the internet for all to see. I had to be comfortable with myself, because the criticism, the critiques, the accolades or whatever that could have come with it, from negative to positive, I had to be comfortable with all of that. And I couldn't let any of that sway me one way or the other. I couldn't let any positivity, like if I was posting things and people were liking that, make me just want to continue to put out crap content just because people were liking it. It's part of the reason why it takes me so long to grow as a content creator, because one, I have a regular job. Two, I try to make sure that the content that I'm making, I'm passionate about making it, and I want to be into it at the time that I'm making it, because I've seen the difference in content where I've just been trying to be consistent and my content lacks the creativity that I wanted to have, versus when I take my time and then the content it meets the standards and exceeds some of the standards, you know? So if I follow the line of like, just pump and dump, get as much content out as possible, yes, the growth could be a lot faster, but I feel the quality in my content will be way, way lower than it's ever been. And for the people who never had or didn't work a regular job, but found like notoriety and status in social media, that became the thing, was the views, because views is currency in that world. And with that, people will do anything, everything in a way to get those views. Everything from selling you shit to hurting people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will do everything in between that line. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of shit people are willing to put themselves through in order to get 15 seconds of fame. Like the Hawk Tuah chick. The Hawk Tuah chick blew up out of nowhere, then took that fame, ran with it, and then did the dumb shit by having a fucking coin scheme thing go down. And this all could be allegedly or whatever it is, if I have to say that shit. But come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't necessary for her to do, but she started chasing the bag. I personally rather get the money slow. I'd rather have a little consistency in that era and then just get it slowly. But the fan base, my viewerships, my information, my content, we up there, dog. We up there, dog. You know what I mean? Because this ain't for everybody. I'm not out here pitching to kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? This is not the channel you come to if you're fucking 13. Do not, kids, take your ass to bed. I don't know what time it is wherever you at, but don't be watching this. You know? This ain't for y'all, baby. I know I got a chibi astronaut, but he's a dead zombie. Oh, he's on this side. He's on this. I'm pointing this fucking way. He over here. Look at me. I look like a weed smoker. I got a lighter in one hand and a blunt in the other, and they ain't met in the middle yet. I think that taking the time to do therapy, get right with myself, or start that journey of my interpersonal battles and making sure that I was okay with who I am inside and outside, that helped me understand what I wanted to do when it came to making content. It helped me feel comfortable with being on camera, talking to you all, and editing that shit and posting it. I didn't feel like there was something in my back pocket that I had to worry about. I didn't feel like there was something that I had to try to do to a gimmick or whatever it was. I'm doing something I feel is a little bit of a slight uphill battle. I'm trying to be a positivity influencer. I'm trying to influence people that are of the same mindset, that don't feel comfortable being out in the world, that don't feel like they belong, feel out of place. And I'm not just talking about by race. I'm talking about societal. Like, if you, as a woman, as a man, as a young adult, as a middle-aged person, as somebody who is bisexual, bi-curious, transgender, whatever the fuck it could be. If you feel out of place and awkward, I want people to fucking orbit or drift or gravitationally flow into this channel and feel loved and feel comfortable being here. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I could give a fuck about everything else. I could care less about everything else. If people feel comfortable enough being themselves, if you're not an asshole or hurting anybody, this is where I want you to be. This is where I want you to find solace. You know what I'm talking about? So for those influencers out there who have kind of lost their weight, like I even think about as a person who at my regular job, again, being in the fitness industry, as somebody who like the content creator Alex Eubank, some of y'all may know, some of y'all may not know. For those out there who if you are out there, I don't know. I have my viewer counter turned off, so I don't know how many people are watching. I don't turn my viewer counter on because I don't want my body, my mind, my everything, my entertainment to be all based on how many viewers are there. I just want to have fun without worrying about that. So if you come on here and you want to be known, just hit me up in the comments, and I'll give you a shout out. You dig? Other than that, anyway, Alex Eubank. Is it Banks or Bank? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, that cat right there, young guy. His original content that he was making was fitness content, and he was saying he was a natural. And if any of that holds true, the kid had a phenomenal physique as a natural. I mean, and when I say demigod status, fucking close. You know what I'm talking about? And then the kid let people get into his head and tell him about his physique and say shit to him, and he started to buy into everything that they were saying on it. Matter of fact, let's just break it down this way. It probably wasn't even everything people were saying. It was probably a few fucking people out of the millions of followers he had that were saying something negative about him, and he let that shit get into his dome, and it changed him. Then he was always talking about he was never going to take steroids, wasn't ever going to think about doing that. He doesn't need that stuff. Then comes back and was like, oh, I'm just going to do it so I can be bigger, and I'm going to do even less than your favorite influencer and be bigger than, look better than all them. Just by saying shit like that, you can already tell what type of time Buddy was on. Buddy was fucking feeling small as shit because of those few negative comments that he read about. And then he let all of that infest his mind rent free, as what they say, living in your shit rent free. And he let that get to him. And then he started hopping on gear. And then he, as I'm not doing steroids. I'm doing testosterone replacement therapy. Motherfucker, you were in your 20s, dog. What replacement did you need? Like, what replacement of your testosterone were you needing? You had nothing you were lacking, kid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to chuck this up to being like, yeah, that's what, like young men, this is what happens when you're young as hell and you get on social media. No, this is what happens when you're not secure with yourself and you get on social media. It doesn't matter what age you are. You could be fucking 50 and still not be confident or comfortable with you as a person, not as a man, just as a person. And you'll be influenced and you'll be swayed easily by the market, and not even the mass majority, by the minority. You will be swayed by them, and that will change everything about who you are. And now this kid is out here taking steroids that he never needed in the first place and trying to make excuses for it along the way. If I was to give that kid one message as a non-popular influencer, as somebody who is not known, but as a person who I don't give a fuck about status or whatever it is, I would want to connect with anybody, regardless of money. If you don't treat me differently because you have more money than me, then I won't disrespect you by any stretch of the imagination. Because if all you got is money on me, dog, it's going to be a tough time fucking with me if that's the route that you want to go. Because that's not, I give two shits about that. But as a person to person, I hope within the next 3 to 5 years, if not sooner, you realize you never needed steroids in the first place, my guy, and you yourself understand how much influence and power you really have just by being who you are. Not by being what you think people want you to be or what you think people think that you should be. Because you don't need to be the biggest. You don't need to be the most jacked. You don't need to be the rippest or the richest. You don't need to be any of that, my guy. Just be you, baby. And it seemed like at the beginning of your career, being you was working for the people. especially the audience that you were pandering towards or catering towards. But then you kind of shifted your sails a little bit. You let some different wind blow you in a different direction, my dude. I just don't want, a decade from now, you hearing about him having heart failure. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody like that. That'd be wild. Kid is in his late 20s or something like that, and he start having heart issues or heart complications or whatever it is. All just because people who don't matter, who don't care about his life, are the ones that are telling him how he should feel and what he should do about it. So really what I'm trying to say is, don't let anybody tell you how you should feel. Don't let anybody tell you how you should be. You got to find the love for yourself. And I know that sounds cliche as hell, but I mean it. And I'm not talking about like this romanticized love. I'm talking about a love that's unwavering, a love that isn't necessarily based on a sexual something, anything. It's based on respect for yourself and understanding the value that you have. You're valuable just by living, just by breathing, just by walking on this damn planet. You are valuable. And I don't think that anything should make you feel different than that. And if that does, whatever that is, remove it. Or either let that thing know they're out of pocket. And if they correct it, keep them around, because that's a hell of a person. If they're willing to correct something that makes you feel uncomfortable without compromising who they are, because we're all genuinely good people. We just choose to be assholes. I've always said this. Love is something that we're born with. Hatred is something that we're taught. You know what I'm saying? We're not taught to be spiteful, mean, angry, volatile. We're not taught to be any of that stuff. Well, anger is just a response. You know what I'm saying? Anger is just a response to things. I think the action, the volatility of that, the violence that can happen after being angry is a choice. You know what I mean? It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel that. But to carry that through with violence, I don't think that's okay. Unless you're defending yourself, of course. You know what I mean? But take it from a dude who, and I'm going to say this quick and I'm going to get this over with. But as a person who I wanted to change my skin tone. There was a point in my life where I did not want to be a black dude because I felt like it was fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't like the way I was being looked at and treated. And I carried that with me for a few years. I've tried to attempt, I made attempts on my own life twice. And all of the reasons that I gave myself to try to follow through with those acts, or to try, as I'm still here, so I can't say it was successful. But I look at those reasons, and every last one of them I've disproven like with the years that I've been living after the fact. You know what I mean? That I was worthless, that I had no meaning. I had no value. I was not even a person like worthy of love or being loved. Everything around me was all based on what I could do for people, and the fact that they thought I was going to go to the NFL and all this other shit. And I told myself so many things, from friendships to partnerships to my family relations and all that stuff, or kinships. I told myself all of these negative things, and every single day of the years that I've been living after that fact, I've proven that version of myself wrong on so many occasions. So it all came from my choice and my want to be comfortable in my own skin is what this is. I'm not anything better than you. I'm not anything worse than you. I might be dumber than you. That's probably a fucking fact. I'm probably smarter than some of you too. And that's okay. But I'm not better or worse than y'all. We're all in this together. You dig? So I hope that whoever out there is listening, I hope whoever out there is who has drifted onto this situation, if you caught me in this, I hope that you feel that feel that you have so much more to give this world than what anybody can tell you, than and your meaning, and that your worth isn't based on what external like people think, or what people that aren't involved in your life think, or the people who are. If they're not giving you any good information, and good information may not always be easy to hear. You know what I'm saying? Good information might be, yo, dog, you fucking up. You know what I mean? But that's a good friend. That's a great friend if you ask me. Especially if they're not like, you a dumbass motherfucker, you'll never get it right, blah, 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 and they're just beating you down. But nah, they're like, yo, this ain't you. You better than this. This is a dumbass thing that you just did. But you can be better. You can do better. You should do better. You should be better. My friends are better than that. My homie is better than that. You know what I mean? Like that's a great person to have in your life. But if they letting you crash out, if they letting you fucking go down the rabbit hole, or if they letting you go down the toilet bowl, you know, rabbit hole ain't always a bad thing. But if they letting you go down the toilet bowl, might as well jump on in there with you. Because they ain't nothing but a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So, jeez, almost coughed. I like coughed at my mic and realized which way I was coughing. I didn't want to slap my arm up. I felt like I was too late. But yeah, I don't understand it sometimes, man. I don't think I don't think that I don't think that we were meant to have a real status quo, or like a real dividing status line. I don't think that any of that stuff I don't think that we should really have that. We the people helped create that and really establish that. When the concept of celebrity came out, we chose to treat these people like they were far superior than us. You know what I mean? Ooh, almost I coughed a little bit, but all based off of either a talent that we either liked or lacked or admired, or by the monetary gain or status that they had, or we perceived them to have. You dig? But if it was, I made this theory before, and I've never really like said it to too many people, but I'm gonna share it with y'all. Like, let's just talk NFL right now. You know how you have people getting paid 150, 110, 20, $30 million over a stretch of like 5 years. Okay. That's more money than than a group of people could see in their lifetime. A group of people, not one, a group of people. And I'm talking about, like, let's just say like a quinceañera, or a block party, or a birthday party, or a club event. I don't know. That's more money than a lot of those fucking people will ever see in their lifetime collectively. You dig? And you're giving it to an individual. And then you have very, very harsh poverty lines, like motherfuckers that are really doing bad, people that are doing supposedly really good. I've thought, what if there was a cap, period, in the NFL? Quarterbacks per year can make at max, let's just say $10 million per year. And that's if you're the top of the top. If you're the cream of the fucking crop, you can make $10 million a year. Some of y'all may be like, damn, that's low. I say that because what can't you buy that is absolutely necessary, not vanity shit, not shit that you just want to look good or flex or whatever the fuck it is, but what can't you buy of necessity that you couldn't afford at $10 million a year? What food couldn't you buy for yourself? What bills could you not pay from your house, your apartment, your condo, your cars, your boats, whatever the fuck you have that you could not pay for or buy with $10 million a year? Given time, of course. If you're saying, man, if they wanted a Lamborghini, how the hell are they going to afford the Lamborghini if they wanted to buy? It's like, buy that after your third fucking year. You got $30 million. You a totality of $30 million. And yeah, taxes, whatever the fuck. Yeah, cool. That's cool. Lamborghinis, you buy one, you good. You don't need 50. You don't need 6 houses. You can't justify that to me. You can't justify those type of shits to me. Because those aren't, one house is a necessity. No matter what format the house is in. It could be a goddamn trailer or RV. A place that you can sleep, shit, eat, do whatever you need to do as far as hygiene and be away from the elements is considered a necessity. So if that is an RV all the way up to a mansion, that's on you. But $10 million per year over the course of 5 years, there's nothing you can't buy that you need. And then you can trickle it from there. If you're a running back, you can get paid $5 million per year since you're not a quarterback, and the quarterback has to be the highest paid, and they need to separate that shit. Whatever. You can make $5 million a year, $7 million a year max, whatever you want. But there's nothing that you can't buy. If you make $1 million a year, there is nothing you can't afford. If you manage your money correctly and you're not spending it all wild like. You know what I'm saying? But if you out there just throwing money into the woods, throwing it into the fire pit, what? That's all you. There's people now that make that kind of money and they still don't do right by it. They still go broke. They still can't figure it out. So yeah, I just don't get that. And then it always, like, stuff like that messes up relationships, man. I'm never gonna be upset at anybody when they say that they want a certain type of person. They want a person with a certain type of dollar amount or whatever it is. But I'm not okay with, because of your preference that because of what you prefer, you choose to disavow or disrespect any level that's below that. Like, they don't work hard. Like, a person who works a 9 to 5 at a fast food spot isn't working hard to make that shit happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say. It's hard to just be like, yeah, if you don't make this much money a year, if you don't make $100,000 every fucking like week or month, or $100,000 a day, then you ain't shit. It, like, you twist it. Wrong. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. But I think we're going to get into some cyberpunk jazz here in just a bit. Haven't heard back from the homies yet, so I don't know what's going on with Rivals right now. So last time we were here, we were on episode, I think, 3. Were we? And on the streets. Or were we on New Mercs No Future? We might have been on New Mercs No Future. Yeah, this is where we left off.
NCPD.
All right. Let me go ahead and get my shit together. Honey, wrong. Just gotta be on it. Gonna be on you, see. Where my headphones at? They were charging. They were where they should be. All right. All right. Let's see if these are on. All right. Now I just gotta make sure that y'all can hear the audio too. That's all. That's weird. It's not showing the headphones. 1 second. I'm gonna go to my live screen. Switch. Out of these, baby. Which out of these? Let me see if it works, baby. Let me see if it is. No, it's still not showing up. That's weird. Let me get this all figured out. No, that's why. It wasn't. Wait. Yeah, I don't know why it's not picking up. My I don't know why it's not picking up my headphone. Turn it off and I'm gonna turn it back on. Cause if not, then the sound it'll come through my main speakers, and I don't want it to do that. It'll interfere with me talking with y'all. Okay, what is this about? Put this blunt out. Why are you doing this to me? That's one talent I wish I had, man. If I was to say one thing I wish I could do as a person, I wish I could sing. I wish I could sing like a mofo, man. Just step in it, karaoke night. You know what I mean? Especially if we had a bar or something like that. Step on it. I'd blow the roof off that motherfucker. You know what I mean? But you know what it'll really sound like? I ain't gonna let y'all know because I'm not gonna sing like that. But it'll sound like somebody sitting on a squeaky toy. Why isn't this thing working? What are you doing to me right now? Why aren't you working? You are not showing up on my properties right now, which is starting to get a little frustrating because I'm trying to play some shit right quick. And this thing wants to act up. It wants to act a fool right now, and I don't understand why. Okay? Yo, that's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know what's going on with it right now, but I'm not gonna deal with it. We'll just go back to this. We're just gonna go back to this. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Where we left off last was they rescue Sandra Dorset. He just got through having his ride with Dexter and all that jazz. Well, he got like him and Jackie just rolled over to he hasn't had a sit down with Dexter yet, actually. My apologies there. So we're just now
Run
with
into any ne'er-do-wells? You know exactly what they ne'er did well. It ought to work like a charm. Now draw your weapon. You should see your ammo count in a brand new sight.
How about the neurovirus from the last job? Can you check it?
Done and gone while we were putting in your implant. And a full sweep on your soft and circuits. Zap the critter. You're certified bug-free.
Shit, Victor, not bad. I don't know what to say.
Say you'll take this and remember the dosage. 2 whiffs now, and another 2 in an hour.
What am I looking at?
A mild stim. Should boost neurotransmission in the short term and muffle some of the
See, that would have been dope. If once Vic gave you that stem, once he gave you that, it would have been dope if you had to you should use it. You know what I mean? Like, what would happen if you did it? I've always thought when it came to Cyberpunk how cool it would be to make the augmentations tax you to some degree. So like if you get a major surgery, you just can't be using it right away. You got to give it time to process. You know what I'm saying? Or there could be some consequences to that. Like maybe it can malfunction. Maybe it doesn't work at full capacity just yet. I think that would be such a cool feature to have as far as, again, just focusing on the things that make Cyberpunk. I think it's so cool to focus on those quality of life things or those in-game features would be crazy. To see your character get augmented would be a great additive, and to see what the augmentation tax really is. If you get mechanical legs, they sound different. The difference in your step pattern, I would, man. And you could be saying that that's a lot to ask for, but I mean, with what games are capable of these days, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's right up the alleyway. I think that's exactly within the realm of possibility for games to do. Is to give us, especially since they're moving to Unreal Engine.
side effects while the implant takes.
See? And he said it too. Help with the side effects while the implant takes. Like, why? Like, even in that part there, he says, hey, take this and this will help kind of nullify the side effects of the implants. Yet, again, in the game itself, we don't get any type of side effects from the implants. None. Which you can be, but that would be kind of dumb, Space, because then he's this is just it's a game. It would slow the pace down. It's an RPG. When I play this game, I shouldn't feel like me. You know what I mean? I should feel like I'm fucking V. That's how I should feel like. Yeah, if you create a woman character and you're a man, hell yeah, you're hot as hell. Take it as it is. You know what I mean? Because I am. I'm a sexy short-haired lady. You dig? And I'll bust your ass. So don't give me that shit. I'm supposed to be V. I'm supposed to be this character. I'm supposed to be in this world. So giving me that atmosphere, giving me that that I don't know. I always use the word immersion, but just giving me that feature to add me, just to absorb me in there, man. Like hack me in, man. Plug me in, man.
Thanks again, Vic. You're the best. I owe you.
Go on, kid. Show them what you're made of. And once you hit the big leagues, don't forget where you came from.
Who's winning?
Hernandez. You know, in the old days, that cripple Malone would have been flat on the boards. Now, every last fighter's got extra skull lining. Absorbs 75% of every blow.
Got cash riding on this?
Nah, just looking. It's out of habit more than anything else.
Miss it, don't you? How's biz going?
Can't complain. Corporals learn to keep their distance, and Sokka's back hiring lone mercs. They all gotta have the newest, shiniest implants.
Good thing you got Misty here to help. Handles your griping well.
Yeah, renting out her shop's the best decision I ever made.
You know what? Seems like you're the only person in Night City who's happy with this lot.
You get to a certain age, you drop all your illusions. Life just gets easier from there.
Heart chakra looks a little out of whack, babe. I can release it for you, but you'd have to watch out for negative energy fields and avoid mean reds. Anything red.
Thanks, Misty. You're the best.
And your aura. It needs tending, baby. You gotta.
So Misty told him, avoid reds. Like avoid all the reds. And for those who know, he did not avoid the red. Not at all. Not one bit. Funny thing is, I wonder if people picked up on it, but Dexter Deshawn, I'm sure, has a red vest on. Know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Dexter Deshawn has a red vest on. And if they say avoid reds, should have avoided Dexter Deshawn.
Brush it daily. It's just no good if you don't. Make sure your hands are clean and caress the filaments of light along their length. They'll be strong then. They'll be firm.
Firm. V, yo, listen up. I talked to Dex while you were in with the doc. He's waiting in his ride. For you. Ain't but a hop to where he's parked. Next to Gramsci Burgers.
Okay, do my best to talk us up. Hey, how well you know Bug exactly?
La mamita got a soft spot for me. No, but seriously, she ain't the type you go out and grab a beer with. Don't actually think she got any soft spots anywhere. For anybody.
Right. How's your mom?
Worried about me. Been for a while. Stab us in the back. Higher stakes, higher risk, Manon. She can see that.
You've been with Misty a while, huh?
I gotta edit those cuts a little bit better.
Yeah, about a year. Why?
Just asking. Never thought you'd last that long in a stable, healthy relationship.
Hey, come on, Manon. You know I was raised right.
How's biz, Misty? Booming?
You're the first person to walk in here for 2 days. And 2 days ago, it was a pizza guy. Got lost. People in this town, they've lost their spiritual connection. But well, you know, I'm here to serve them, not the other way around.
So, believe it or not, I took my time to try to get that part to hit when it when it was saying his like information. That ooh, I was trying to get it. I was editing the song to try to hit on that part. And I tried to match it with the door closing. That was the two key parts. Like the door closing, boom, oop, and then that's when it starts his information. And if you see, look, I told y'all, he's wearing red. He's wearing red.
Yo, Mr. V, a pleasure.
Dexter Deshawn in the flesh. Ample indeed.
Let's roll.
He said
Mind if I
ample
ask you
indeed. He said
something
call
right
him
off
fat.
the thing? Would you rather live in pieces, Mr. Nobody, die ripe, old, and smelling slightly of urine, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory, smelling near like posies, without seeing your 30th?
You're either somebody or you fizzle out into nothing. Night City don't let you choose.
Oh, but it does. See, in my line of work, I choose to be Mr. Chill. But folk who try to take advantage, well, they see the beast inside. All right, listen close. Scanning a serious job now. Playing gargantuan compared to smashing up a scav home.
Hang on. I got a question of my own now. Why all this, Dex? Why me? Could have had Jackie or T-Bug sitting here. Could have just done this on comms.
Call me old-fashioned, but I like to look anyone I do biz with in the eye. Had the pleasure of meeting the Jackster in the past, and Sweet T-Bug helped this brother out 2 years ago. So here we are.
Now, he's been gone for 2 years. So T-Bug was involved with getting him moved.
Besides all that, got a special little pre-mission just for you. But we'll get to that.
Let me hear it. What's the job?
There's this prototype tech, a biochip to be precise. Job's to grab it. Simple.
Yeah? Guessing it belongs to a corp.
Mm-hmm. Arasaka. Surely that's no problem.
Well, hell, it is.
No problem. Just a death sentence. NC's Arasaka's turf. Nobody fucks with them here.
What can I say, Mr. B? High risk, high reward. First rule of the afterlife. Besides that, I'm no leadhead. Ain't gonna leave no trace for them to follow, cause we're gonna do this clean and on the hush-hush. We understand each other?
You work this out? Got a plan?
Two things. First, a conundrum with the Maelstrom boys. Needs active resolving that. Second, a rendezvous. Simple. Client who brought us the job's anxious. She wants to parlay with one of the team.
Client. What's her thing? Why she need to
There was no way I could edit around that
Woman's
choice.
name's
It popped
Evelyn
up like
Parker.
right in the
Remember, it wasn't
center.
easy. Put the word out I was looking for any kind of intel.
Right, and?
So Some brothers from Pacifica got back to me. Told me to stop looking. End the convo. Anyway, our little client insisted on meeting
The
some
Voodoo
of the
Boys.
skin in the game. You know, who'll be there for it all. Yours truly will be remote.
Like-
T-Buck.
In season 2, that's when I want to introduce the Voodoo Boys. Like, we're gonna come back to this episode. He's like some boys from Pacifica.
Ain't no people person.
Told me to
and
stop looking.
Jackie's only good at
And we're gonna
some
meet who they
things.
were.
I know you know what I mean. Pretty much leaves you.
What's the issue needs resolving with Maelstrom? Got a beef?
Slotting the shard. Got a classic tale for you. Psycho gang doing his thing 2 weeks back. Jumped a Militech convoy. Got away with the gear. Corp don't even know Maelstrom's involved. Now see, convoy was carrying the Flathead, a little combat bot, a prototype. And I need me that bit of high-grade military tech. Because if we don't get that bot, we don't get no soccer chip. And we sure as hell don't get no happily ever after. But don't get excited. It's a single-use toy. Now, I flat out purchased the damn thing from Maelstrom. Problem is, I did so from a gent went by the name of Brick.
By the name of
I
Brick.
Because Brick was the leader. 3 days after we'd sealed our deal, his friend and gangmate, one Simon Randall, a.k.a. Royce, plain dropped his ass. Royce is in charge now, and I got no way of knowing if he aims to honor his predecessor's word. To add to this shitstream, one Meredith Stout of Militech has developed an interest in said convoy.
Royce guy. What's he like?
A straight psychopath, chrome-loving kind.
Big club in this town.
I'll give you that. Except few of its other members, no matter the stakes, would put a friend and associate through an industrial microwave dryer. Apparently, first thing to burst are the eyeballs. Get a nice clear pop. Then the rest goes goulash.
Corpo agent. What's she playing at?
Hell if I know. Been skidding around town asking after the convoy as if her life depended on finding it. The one lead she's got zip-tied in her trunk.
Sounds like she was waiting on the transport. Got stood up. Monochrome in the back's probably her chief suspect. Got nothing from him or on him, so she's keeping him just in case. But she needs to find the stolen gear before her bosses learn she fucked up.
Well, Mr. V, that is some impressive deduction. Naturally, use that intel as you please. Preferably well. Of course, to do so, you'll need that Frazzle Cat's info. Sending it now.
Think I got everything. Time I got to work.
Well, that's just music
Again,
to my ears.
when
I'll set up
Misty
the meet with
told
Miss Parker at Lizzie's bar.
Jackie
Flathead.
to not worry, like to stay away from Reds, that little
One
bitch
more
right
thing,
there
Mr. V.
was fucking one of the people that she was talking about.
Quiet life.
Stay away from his ass, cause look at what color he wearing on his vest.
Later now.
Jackie could have been around. We didn't have to rush his death. God damn it. Excuse me for the burp.
Jackster, talk to Dex.
Excuse me again.
Yeah, Gordito's a big deal.
Gordito.
Guy certainly knows how to protect his biz. Wants to put us on a few small kinks. Prep work, I guess. Before lining us up a big job. There's this combat bot, military prototype.
So,
Maelstrom clept it. Then Dex.
back before, there was talk that there was supposed to be backgrounds and shit when you got on the Hollow. So when people were making calls, originally they were saying that like there was going to be wherever they were in the world or whatnot, you know what I mean? You were going to be able to see the background and shit like that. Can that come back in Cyberpunk 2? Can that be a thing? Can characters be off in the world doing random shit? You know what I mean? Simming it up. If I decide to cruise around for a little bit, if I see somebody said car, they're probably around that area. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And if I call them and they're in the city, they're in the city. But I know that it sounds difficult. It sounds difficult of a thing to do in a video game. But they said they wanted to do it.
Dex paid to
So
take
I'd
out
love-
their
I'd love
hands
for that
just
to come
before
back.
the Gangoons had to switch up in
I
management.
might be crazy. I might be asking for a lot.
Right,
But
heard about that. Royce versus Brick.
If they were gonna do it
Hostile
then,
takeover.
That sums
why
it
not
up.
do it in Cyberpunk
Dex
2?
wants us talking to Royce. Gave the deets of some Militech agent too, but I don't know how much help she stands to be.
Chingon.
You don't sound thrilled. Royce, what do you know about him?
He's fucking whack, something special. Junkie snort junk. Royce
Snorts chrome.
Then there's the other thing. Gotta meet the client who put the job on the
Try not to get
table.
run over in this
Evelyn
fucking game.
Parker.
Because even though that crosswalk says walk,
Well, what's Dex gonna do?
they will light your ass up like you in Las Vegas.
Up on the hollow?
Parker wants to meet someone on the crew. Dex gave me the nod.
He must know what he's doing. So, how you want to play this? Maelstrom or Parker? What's first?
I say we knock on Maelstrom's door first. Pound, actually.
Orale. In that case, I'll hit the all foods. Put my nose to the ground. Sniff around. Hasta luego.
All right, that's episode 3. Now we can get into episode 4.
Kind of subtly they teach it.
Hey everyone,
All right.
feels great to be back.
So far, we've in the story that I've made, I've been trying to establish like some pieces of the puzzle that are yet to come. We met Vic. We met Misty as two of the sub characters in our that are going to be a part of the show, but kind of trying to establish this lore between. There is a powerful corporate setting, and Arasaka being the name that keeps popping up over and over again is the company that we worked for. So far in those first 2 episodes, we were showing this very corporate version of V. They were straightforward. They were assholes. They disrespected, didn't care how they talked to anybody. But now we're back at this opportunity to be back at the top. So V's ambition is kicking in. And it's like, how are we going to approach this setting? Because we know of Arasaka. We know what they're capable of. Yet we're trying to be and believe in these people when one of them being a shady motherfucker named Dexter Deshawn, he himself is the main red that I was just trying to establish that mysticism when it comes to Misty saying, hey, avoid reds, not just for Jackie, but also for V. Y'all should be avoiding this guy. You should leave this motherfucker alone. Don't talk to him. Don't do biz with him. Because nobody's asking Dexter no questions. Why were you gone for 2 years? What were you doing? Why did you have to leave? If you were such an incredible fixer. A legendary fixer at that. Why did you have to skip town? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's asking shit. So I'm trying to establish that as part of the story before we get into this next episode. And after that, after this one, we're gonna go meet. We're gonna get ready to set up this whole heist thing and
Hey
this
everyone, feels great
this
to
whole
be
story.
back.
We got a few more episodes to go before we get to that part, but yeah.
City called Kujira or the Whale. Apparently the corp figured it wasn't safe in Japanese waters.
So when I'm cutting these parts, what I'm thinking about is that when the game was first announced and they were talking about how this was going to be a world of its own. Characters were going to be doing their own thing, living their own lives, 24-hour cycle, blah, blah, blah. If you saw a character from way upstairs in your apartment and you found them downstairs, you could follow them and they would be doing all that shit. And it was, y'all heard it. So over time, they've upgraded this world and it looks better. It runs better. If you have a PC, it's phenomenal and you can mod it. Yet there are still some hiccups in the system because it's on an old engine that they're no longer really using, but they have a small team adding things to. So I wanted to kind of give some more of that to the episodes. This isn't just a play for play of the missions, if that makes sense to y'all. Again, just trying to expand on and extend a bit of that story that we got throughout the game and tying in a lot of the lore that you explore and find into it by these videos and just creating this episodic kind of series. And is doing these shots of like the world and whatnot. It for me gives it that oxygen, if that makes sense to y'all. It's like you can feel the city moving around. It's not just V's apartment, V's car, a mission. I'm not fast traveling. I'm not trying to do any of that stuff. I'm cutting it like an episode, but I'm also trying to give a bit of this as like, hey, this is Night City. It's beautiful looking at times and it's ugly looking at times. There is a bit of everything here. I love Night. I think Night City is cool as hell. I think Night City is dope as hell. What did I say? Dex is just the first cool dude a white dude meets. You know what, dog? Like outside of Jackie, though, right? You know what I mean? Like, but he's also a fucking. He's a piece of fucking work now. He has a cool ass voice. He has a cool ass voice, but that some bitch, man. Oh no. If I would have first met Dex, I'd have had some questions. I'd have had some fucking questions. I would have been like, listen, brother, what happened 2 years back? You know what I mean? Where'd you go? Where you been? What's going on now? He could have answered. He could have dodged him. He could have had something, but I would have been questioning his ass too. Cause I'm not just going to take the bait and be like, yeah, all right, no questions. Cool. I'm out. Thank you for the gig. You know what I mean? I'd still do the gig at some point. I'd be trying to get Arasaka's ass back if I could. Yet, if you know the outcome, you about to get a bullet to the brain, an engrammatic thing that's about to take over your mind, killing you in the process. You know, who's taking that risk? I'm gonna be honest, I am. I'm finna get all up in that shit. I'm about to go up in there, live these few months, live these few months out, make it happen. I'm running it ragged. I'm not just gonna sit back and do nothing. I'm finna take that bullet to the scalp. I'm finna live with this rocker boy in my mind, and we gonna see what happens. We gonna see what happens, baby. I'm gonna fall in love with Pan Am. You know what I mean? Me and Pan Am gonna ride off into the sunset, and I'm gonna have a stroke on her ass.
Afraid some local fishermen might harpoon it for scientific research. But honestly, it's quite the power move. Wonder what Militech will respond with.
Clay, welcome.
Maybe
I'm
Myers
gonna give you some
will
love while
fly
I'm here.
B-17
Appreciate you for
Flying
tuning in.
Fortress over Arasaka
Hit me
HQ.
up. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're doing well. Taking care of yourself. You did.
That is insensitive. I am so sorry. Where are my manners? President Myers. I mean, of course. Gotta respect the office.
So again, the one thing that I think as a, if I'm being honest, as a thing that anybody who stuck around with the first version of Cyberpunk understood, at least for a praying standpoint, we were praying for this, that the game would eventually look the way that it looks now. We knew that what they wanted to do, and we accepted the circumstances that they had to go through before they gave us that product. Yeah, it didn't live up to the promise that they made, but they did what they could given the circumstances. So I thought Cyberpunk in itself, just the world of Cyberpunk, was dope. I still think it's dope. I love to live in Night City. I like to treat it like GTA. Cyberpunk to me is GTA. That's my GTA of now. I don't play GTA 5. I'm waiting for GTA 6 like everybody else is. And what I'm hoping is, and stick with me now, I'm going to use what Ocho say, stick with me now when I say this. After GTA 6 comes out and we get to see what an RPG game can, like what the Rocks, like what their fucking, what is their engine called? Is it the Rockstar? What is it? Is that their engine? What is the Rockstar's engine? I don't know. If you know, let me know. Anyway, but what they're capable of doing when it comes to this style of a game, the type of world that they're going to immerse us into when it comes to this new GTA. The chaos that happens in GTA literally sets up everything that Cyberpunk is. Corrupt, big corpos, killing people and shit, just street chaos, everything. In that's exactly what it is. So if we can get that kind of world in GTA, I'm curious to see what we are going to be given when it comes to the next Cyberpunk, because they already have these hints towards the connection between Night City and Chicago. I think it's Chicago. Yeah, Chicago. But or is it Detroit? No, I think that's Chicago. Anyway, but they have that train that's going to be going all the way there. So if we're saying that they're going to be connecting cities, why shouldn't there be a way for you to either start a character's arc in one of the cities and then eventually come back to Night City, or start in Night City and eventually go to the other city? Because if they add in a new thing where you can be a lawman, if they add in that as a lifestyle choice, I think that'd be so dope, because you can split that off into so many different ways. You can be a corrupt lawman. You can be on the straight and narrow and say, like, fuck all that has to do with breaking the law. You can even go into security and work for somebody like Arasaka and be kind of an Atom Smasher. Be a tank of a person, you know what I mean? And you're the head of security. I think that would be so dope to add in there. And I mean, that's my opinion, because I think that'd be a missed opportunity if they didn't do something with the law, because they gave us this government with Phantom Liberty.
No more than your number. Heard you misplaced a convoy.
You shut him up. Spill what you know. Don't make me wait.
Transport fuck-up's toxic for you, I know. So listen carefully. You and me are gonna meet. See if we can't find a way to help each other out.
Mutual self-interest. Agreed. First exit off.
I got busy with Meredith.
towards the NID.
I'm gonna just get that out the way and say that
Meet you there.
I did that mission. It was by accident at first. Like everybody else, it was by accident. But after that, yep. So trying to cut it again to make it very episodic, trying to give it that kind of like, all right, you get to your car, you do your thing. I'm so to record some of these, I have to reshoot these parts over and over again. I have to like restart the save, come back, drive, and sometimes you can find the same cars driving down the street. So some of those are like can be cut from different saves or different points. And luckily, I've had the same car drive by during that time of day, and that's about it. So at times I get lucky, but other times I got to try to figure out a way to either shoot it all in one if I can when I'm trying to do those filler shots or whatever it is, or I have to figure out a way to. I got to keep trying basically until I get lucky, which can take a long ass time.
Look lively. Meredith Stout. Take it you were the one to call?
That'd be me.
And I've been let me pause this real quick. Every episode I think so far has V getting knocked out at some point or another. I think either he is passing out or getting knocked out at some point or another. Oh, goddamn, I just hit my knuckle. How's everybody doing tonight anyway? It's Friday. What y'all got going on in y'all world right now? I don't have my viewer counter on. I never do. So for those out there who don't know, who is out there, I don't have it on because I don't want my energy or entertainment to be based off of that shit. I'd rather just be me, and whoever drifts in here, y'all drift in here. And I appreciate you for if you stay for a minute, if you stay for 2 hours, I don't care. I appreciate you for just being here. You know what I mean? If you are able and are a ganja person, smoke one. If you're not and you don't partake, that's all right. I still love you. I ain't got nothing against you. Never do it if you don't want to. But if you a kid, get your ass off my channel. I love you, but this ain't for you, baby. Okay? This channel is not for you. That's all I'm saying. So, for everybody else, welcome. Thank y'all. Sending y'all love, appreciations. Let's watch this last episode of Neon V.
Got any more for me?
Calm the fuck down.
As you should, Clayton. Smooch your lady down. Smooch him down.
I just want to talk.
What you drinking on? What you sipping on?
Christ, Meredith! Shut your trap! That fucking thing ready?
All set.
Now answer my questions. Honestly, forthrightly. Are you here alone?
I've been thinking of multi-streaming from here and Twitch at the same time. I don't know how that would go, but I kind of miss it.
You're done with not a
I gotta send out a viewer. I gotta send out this sweater. I finally picked pieces back up in life, and things are going pretty well. So I need to honor those things and send that sweater out.
Now listen, this piece of shit, Anthony Gilchrist. Is he your contact?
Yes.
Is he the one who leaked intel on the
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
no ties to Militech.
He's the one.
None.
Shut down.
So how the fuck do you know so much?
Do any of y'all remember the earlier previews of this game where you and Jackie were up at the top? Like, you and Jackie came, like in the trailer, you came from up in the rafters and she was like, do a sweep and see if he's alone. I always remembered that scene and thought, man, they found his ass because they knew I was lying. Or I faked this motherfucker out. You know what I mean? My shit's that good. This Arasaka asshole, or this Militech bitch here, he himself had poor tech and I outsmarted him. You know what I mean? But it was like, in that preview, Jackie's ass was up there. And that was not a good sign. Soju, bro? What I know about that? I don't know. It sounds like a sake or something like that. What is that? Let me look that up real quick. Soju? Oh, no, not soju, boy. Jesus. Let's see. What's soju? Soju is that? I don't know if that's how it says English pronunciation. Something. Is a clear and colorless distilled alcoholic beverage traditionally made from the rice, but later from other grains and has flavor similar to vodka. It is usually consumed neat. Is that a sake? Did I have a good guess? I mean, am I guessing on point? What I know about to guess, baby. I'll take sake for 200, Alex.
All corps use the same playbook.
Korean booze. Hey.
Listen,
He said I'm getting drunk off of that. Slaying foreign body. I like that. Hey, get it.
I fucking told you I'm not the mole. Jesus Christ. Shut him up.
Do you got to go to a certain store to get it? Like, is there a certain place that you that they like? That's where you found it, or that's the only place you can find it where you live.
couldn't have been chill from the start.
And how did you come to find out about it? How did you come to start drinking it?
I need a bot. Flathead mob. Guys who ripped you off have it. Promise me that bot. I'll point the finger.
You have a plan how to deal with them?
Could just take it by force, but they're expecting payment. So I could go that route too.
Fine, the latter. But on one condition. You pay with our money.
His arms look like shit.
That the kind of silk.
But on one
Like, his arms look like shit. You know what I mean? Like first generation augmentated arms. or like maybe third generation. Knuckles look good, but whoever did the fucking color match on his arms, they fucked with him. Unless that's what he chose. Unless he was like, yeah, I want it to be noticeable, because that's ugly as fuck. Look like he got like red gloves on, like those old ladies from like the 50s. Yep, like he about to smoke one of them long ass cigarettes on the stem. That's what it looked like to me. Like he about to sing. He about to sing a good song, like a ballad. Just a liquor store. It's near the sake for sure. No, one of my homies drank sake, or he used to.
That the kind of subtlety they teach at Militech? Chips spiked with a virus.
That was all he drank. But if it's not sake,
Something goes
but it's
wrong,
something different,
I'm the one they'll fill full
but it's near
of,
sake.
not you. Time you
I've never
escape.
tried
What's on there?
Korean booze
The
or
tracing
sake before.
algorithm latches on to financial streams.
I take that back. I've tried sake before. I've never bought it for myself, if that makes sense.
I'm in.
Why wouldn't
Pay
that
with
make sense?
ship?
I said it
That's
clear
all
as day.
you gotta worry about. Try to fuck me anyway, and I'll be seeing you real soon.
Will you be seeing me real soon? Huh?
You're making a mistake. This girl's already good as dead.
I'm not making a mistake.
She'll take you down with her.
Nope. He's gonna die. Okay. First time trying this I was thinking, if any of y'all are from my era, do y'all remember those old animes like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop? They would have those when they would go to commercial back in the day. They would have a before commercial and an after commercial, like little cutscene. In Trigun, it was the rift. You know what I mean? They had like a rift, and it was two different rifts that they had. One for when they were getting ready to leave, and one when they were coming back. I was trying to pay a little homage to that shit in that with doing this. So at time, this isn't something that's gonna stay in each episode. I'm not sure, but I did it to give it a shot. I should have ran Jackie's ass over. So if you, I had to drive around Jackie. So I had to take a longer route to get to Jackie from where I am, because basically you just go up the loop and come back around, and it'll take you from this way, and it'll bring you in front of him. But soon as he sees your car, he starts to go into his dialogue. So he'll start talking to you, and your ass you ain't hopped out the ride yet. He just sees you, and in proximity of like that, his character starts his monologue or his dialogue. So I had to take a longer route and come behind him so he wouldn't start his damn dialogue. Because if not, he's going to be talking to nothing. He's just going to be talking in the ether, waiting for me to get out of my car. And then I like that too, because it was like I scared the shit out of him.
Let me hear what you squared away.
Been waiting long.
Mi madre always said patience pays off, so
T-Book show any sign of life? You two talk?
she's up to date, fired up to work with Dex. Preparing already. They're familiar, you know? Worked together before Dex took his break.
So Dex already paid the maelstroomers for the corpo bot. Thing is,
Soju is like vodka.
gang goons are
Sake
still
is
willing to hand
wine.
it over.
Okay. So Soju is much stronger.
Well, whatever. Let's go get this tech.
And do you just like, I mean, goddamn, if it's like vodka, you taking that shit to the face?
Militech and me, we found some common ground.
Like people who drink tequila.
Solid enough.
You know what I mean?
Putting the bill for the
God
bot.
damn. I can't say anything. I drink whiskey. I like whiskey and bourbons and shit. I like those.
Like we never had it in the first place.
Like I just tried. So the last bourbon that I had, when I went out to eat, and it was maybe a couple weeks ago, a couple weekends ago. I went out to eat, and I had Bullet bourbon, and that stuff is so good. I get it just one ice cube. I don't care how they make it. They can make it a sphere. They can make it square, diamond. It don't matter to me. But I get it with one ice cube only. Couple swirls around. I smell it first. Couple swirls around. And then I start sipping on my shit. Because that shit is good. To the face. You dangerous person. You barbarian. What have y'all seen Secret Level? Arnold Schwarzenegger called the king. He called him a. He said, "You silky bearded Babylonian cur." He called him a silky bearded Babylonian cur. And I don't know why, but just how he said it and how they panned out from him, it was pretty funny to me. But Secret Level, the first season, it's the first half of the season is really, really good. The last episode, the PlayStation one, not my favorite, but okay. For those out there who have seen it, what are your favorite episodes? If y'all have seen that, because I gotta say, the Armored Core episode was really great. The Pac-Man episode is probably one of my favorites. It probably would. I would probably say the Pac-Man episode is my favorite. Then it's the Armored Core one, and then I really loved the Warhammer, the 40K one. I thought that one was really done well. And I'm not even. I can't call myself a devoted like 40 Hammer guy. I loved Space Marine 2. I played it and I enjoyed the atmosphere of that. It gave me that Gears of War feeling, and that's something that is very nostalgic and it felt really good to play. But I know there's so much lore to that. I'll watch some of the videos at times. I'll put them on and I'll listen to them, or I'll like legitimately just chill and watch them because they're interesting to me. But I have no want to do a lot of deep lore diving myself or anything like that. So, but yeah. But yeah, those are my favorite episodes. I thought they were really fucking good.
Who knows how this deal's
Oh, and I did love the the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. I love that episode too. That one was of Eternum or whatever it was. I love that one.
Besides, cred chip's laced.
Can't believe you taking that shit to the face though.
Shit.
You're fucking
As
crazy.
soon as they learn that, it'll be our blood on the floor. You might want to fill them in on that.
Mean tell them we trade in toxic cash? They will be pissed.
Well, sometimes it's better to play with an open hand, you know? Just saying. So, into the Borg Beast Den.
Let's go see these bastards.
All right, let's knock on their door. I hate these Borg fuckers. It had to be them.
Just a gang like any other, right?
I'll take the Valentinos.
So,
They follow God and the
for those out there who have played,
honor means
I haven't decided yet.
you know what they want.
I haven't
Get it,
decided yet
and what pisses
on
them
if
fuck
the
off.
finale is going to be the episode
Just never know.
where
One time,
I like show Jackie's death, or if I want to make that happen at the beginning, somewhere at like the early stages of season 2, because I think one of the things that sucks is how short we are with Jackie, and the devs and all that and the writers have said that was all part of the plan anyway. Was to they sped up that process to get us to Johnny Silverhand. I feel
To Royce.
that
Dex sent us.
as much Johnny Silverhand as we have, they didn't have to do that whatsoever. We have so much of Johnny Silverhand that we could have had a few more missions with Jackie and then did that. You know what I'm saying? Did a few side missions with him, or did a few like filler missions with him,
I've ever seen security like this in a
and
Shack
then
factory.
go into this process where, all right, he's about to die. So I haven't decided yet with how I'm trying to like weave this episode together, because again, I'm not doing beat for beat from the game. What I'm trying to weave into this here is there's going to be this it's like there's going to be like this mysticism with AI, because I feel that in the next game there's going to be a heavy emphasis on the AI's position in the world. I'm working on a video of Night Corp and talking about how Night Corp is completely taken over by I personally think Night Corp is run by an AI. I think it's run by a rogue AI. That's why a lot of shit, obviously, and in the storyline, they kind of hint towards that. Like there's some shit going on, kind of like Delamain when it comes to Night Corp. And Night Corp is trying to get its like people in the lore of Night Corp. The people are saying they want Night Corp to come back and make its rule or like take over Night City again. but it has its hands and feet and tentacles and wires and shit in a lot of Night City's activities. And I think it funds a lot of things. And with Jefferson Peralez, you can't tell me that that's not part of Night Corp. That Jefferson Peralez in this whole blue shit, Mr. Blue Eyes and the aliens and all that stuff. I got a video about the aliens, but the AI situation that they're basically in like infecting them with like, I would say bits and pieces of rogue AI. And then they're going to eventually take over that body and then go on because, Raish Bartmoss made these things that when he was running like a little corporation in a combat zone or near one, and it got raided and shit happened, but nobody ever really knows if he was really in there. Nobody knows if he was killed in that thing. And then later on, we supposedly find his body in a fridge in the middle of the landfill. You know what I'm saying? So he made these devices that all of the people who worked for him had to wear. And those devices were slowly it gave him the ability to just take over their bodies whenever he wanted to. So if somewhere behind the black wall, these AIs got together and they started communicating and doing all this shit, how do we not know one of those AIs, who knows who, which one, which kind, decided to take over Night Corp? Because Night Corp wasn't started by Richard Knight. It was started by his wife in honor of Richard Knight's his what he imagined for Night City. He wanted a crime-free haven for the wealthy and the corporations to come in and do their thing. You dig? That's what he wanted. But instead, he was puned. He was, walked down by the mob, they say, and then his wife started the company. I think that bitch is run by an AI.
What was in there?
A Militech truck.
Those cabrones only swiped a couple crates. Not a whole fucking semi.
Yes, it is not. It is not. No, not at all.
Anti-personnel mine.
See, I think so. See, you're getting it. Clay, I appreciate you, Clay. See, you're coming through, as always. I appreciate that. I thought that was too. I thought it would be so nice early on. No, I don't know where. I'm not going to tell anybody where I'm going to put it, but I think that would be such a dope way to thrust V into this like mid-season kind of that chaotic. You lost your best friend. You almost died. And then you found out that you're infected with this engrammatic chip of an old terrorist that does not like you right off the bat. And then you are told that you only got a limited amount of time to live. That is such a great thing to happen and see. I think so too. I think that would be good. I think that's the perfect way to write it, is to go that direction in season 2 and let the rest of this season be building V up for this big mission, building these guys up for this big mission with Dexter Deshawn. So I appreciate that.
Directional shrapnel spitter. My favorite.
Stay cool. They're just trying to spook us. Get in the elevator. Sheep. Stay cool. They're just trying to spook us. All right, keep chilled, V.
Okay. What I loved about this shit is Jackie tells you as V, he's like, stay chill. He's like, We're on their turf right now. Watch how this motherfucker acts. Watch
We're
how
on
this
their
son
turf.
bitch acts.
So what do you want?
Here to see Royce. We got biz to transact.
Mr. Royce is busy just now. You'll deal with me.
You got a bot. Model MT0D12. Called the Flathead.
And? The hell you care?
Guy I represent already paid Brick for it. I'm just here for the pickup. I can talk direct to Royce if necessary.
Nah, you talk to me. Name's Dum Dum. Now couch. Planet. You fucking deaf?
I wish I could have said something like, fuck you.
Well, shit. Goes for you too.
I'll stand.
This so fucking hard? Fucking ass on the fucking couch!
Make me.
Not you'd never ask.
Personally, we've seen Jackie stand up to Arasaka goons, 4 of them, with tanks with them. They had those big mask guys, those I call them tanks. They're just the big sumo looking dudes. They had 2 of those with them, what seemed like a net runner, because he had the visor on. And then they had a main cat. He stood up to those brothers, and this some bitch stands up to the Maelstrom. And these motherfuckers are supposed to be chrome to the gills. Like, they literally give more of their body to cyberware than any other like gang in this lore. They are as close to Borg-like as you can get. And Jackie is this is why I loved Jackie so much. You just couldn't phase the fucking dude. You know what I mean? Like, I feel, personally, if I don't say anything, Jackie's ripping this dude's fucking throat out. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I see the shit. Yesterday's price is not today's price. This is the street kid scene where it could have been different. That Corpo and Nomad. Yeah. Yes. See, this is I love you've played it from different versions, so you've seen this. You know that those things can be very, very frustrating when the original concept was said. Your life path choices were going to be so detailed, and they were going to matter so much more than what they actually gave us in the end product. If we are going to get Cyberpunk 2 on Unreal Engine, I'm gonna switch my screen. Hold on. I'm gonna switch my screen. I gotta get serious with y'all. Let me clean off the sour dust from my sour patch, from my sour punch straws. Let me clean off my desk real quick. And just say this. If we are gonna get Cyberpunk 2 on Unreal Engine, I don't see why we could not, and I hope CDPR hears me out when I say this, why we could not get a version of Cyberpunk the Deluxe Edition, but redone on Unreal Engine as well. I would pay $40, possibly even $50 for a completely redid version of Cyberpunk 2077 with Phantom Liberty included on Unreal Engine 5 with added amenities to it, pull in more from the modding community and shit, give them motherfuckers a fat check because we all know they deserve it, and give us a fucking set. And I'm saying, and this is what I'm saying. This is why I would pay for it, because then you can take that money, take my hard-earned cash that I shake my ass for. Okay, find me on Feet Finder. I does it big, but I'm just saying I would give my money to that cause because there is limitless possibilities with what they could add to the game or give us from what they wanted to. They could give us everything they wanted to give us in that in that version using Unreal Engine. And I would pay 40. I would pay a smooth 40 at max $50 for that shit. And they can take that money and funnel it right into and put it back into the new Cyberpunk. And I would buy that new Cyberpunk as well. Excuse the burp. But am I crazy? Am I out of my mind for thinking that? Have I gone cyber psycho for thinking that if they did that and gave us those, because what it really would be a teaser to what we could look forward to and more in the new Cyberpunk. They can test things like how to really make those life choices matter when it comes to the dialogue and the scenes that we get from that. They can give us more of the animations when we're getting our fucking augmentations, when we're seeing Ripper docs, we see the surgeries happening. There are effects that matter after that, because when we met Vic and we got our first one, he made it a point that there was some side effects that we need to hit our fucking stem for, so we didn't experience. But that would be dope to have something like that added into the new Cyberpunk, and thinking like, okay, if I'm gonna go get reinforced tendons, that shit is taxing on my body. I'm not just gonna go straight from there, hauling ass outside, double jumping into the moon. No. Like, let there be a 4-hour window, a 12-hour window, game time, of course, for a cooldown period. You might want to stay out of trouble. And they can have gangs. If you fucked some shit up beforehand, you might want to be careful where you at when you get that surgery, because if one of those gangs roll up on your ass and your augmentation window isn't clean yet, you might have some difficulties using that. I think that'd be pretty fucking sweet. I think that would give us I can just take it all in. I can take that all in. I can just imagine that. Like, just that would be so sexy. They open up the world a bit more. You know what I mean? They give us more of that fucking 24-hour Night City vibe. Take my money, CDPR. Take my fucking idea, CDPR. Write me a silent check, because I'm going to clip this shit. You understand? Take my idea. Write me a quiet check. Matter of fact, no, I was going to say, fuck the money. I was going, hold on now. Just let me come in. Just let me take a tour of the facility. Let me touch some things. Let me touch a controller. Send me home with a custom PlayStation or a PC. Call it a good. Give me that. You ain't got to give me no money. Give me some of that. Give me some of that. All right. That's all I want. All right, let's continue. Let's finish up this episode.
Jack, sit down.
This ain't gonna end well, but
Pushed his ass too. Jack said, "Fuck off me, man."
Well, all right. Come on. Got to lighten up. Take a hit.
What is it?
the skeef. Shit kicks you in the ass.
It's a fucking rush, man. Gotta feel it for yourself. Come on, give it a whirl.
So that in that part, I'm trying to. So there was two parts where I've tried to establish this kind of thrilling element to it using the Alt Cunningham AI, because eventually we're going to get to that point in the story. Yet I wanted to have that added into it because part of what I've shown before in one of the first episodes was V goes into his own mind and he can kind of take us into those memories as well and give us a bit of that journey and take us into this kind of story within the story. He can see, it's like we're just taking a view into his introspection. So we can do that, which means V kind of talks to himself. He communicates with himself. And then later on, we get this engrammatic person that is in our mind and it talks to him. So it's kind of I wanted to kind of set this thing up to where it's like there's only so much space in a person's head for this type of shit. So that's going to be part of that conflict, is not only it's already part of the story, but we're going to add a bit more to that and being like, all right, not only does V have that engrammatic form in his head, but he also tries to like have his thoughts within himself too. But he can't have that now because anything that he think is already intruded on by this engrammatic form of Johnny Silverhand, you know? So it's just part of the craze, part of the shit that's going to go down later on, and having that kind of tweak into the Black Wall. I wanted to have this thing that this AI wants to get out. It wants to get out, and that I might be, and I'm saying this for myself as a creative situation. I wanted to give this like story to AI is just trying. It wants to get out. It wants to basically Agent Smith its way out of the net world into the real world. Humans want to go into the net. The net wants to become part of the real. You know what I mean? If we're using Matrix terms. And I wanted to give this kind of hint to the AI is already making its efforts through V, because in the lore, if you dig deep, it's doing that to other people. It's infecting other people. And V, part of the story, is one of those people that is slowly getting infected by this subliminal messaging from beyond the Black Wall. So having that mysticism tying to the Black Wall, I think that just heightens that story about the Black Wall that we really don't get much of until we meet the Voodoo Boys and then we meet Song So Mi. Like if you go from the Voodoo Boys right into the Phantom Liberty thing, you get that combined. You get a lot more about the Black Wall, but before we got the Phantom Liberty, it wasn't much information about the Black Wall. You know what I mean? It wasn't much like substance to that. They gave us bits and pieces of it, but thanks to Phantom Liberty, we got more of what the Black Wall is capable of, what it's doing, what it kind of wants. And I've tried to hint towards that a little bit with adding that scene with Alt Cunningham after he hit that.
Now we can
triggered that thing again in his brain. So we haven't lost sight that there's still some shit going on with that. And I love that. I love that, like, that horn tone or whatever it is. I like that to symbolize her. It's like a signal. You know what I mean? I love that tone. I think that tone is cold.
Gotta feel it for yourself. Come on.
I'm a sounds guy. I love tones. I love sounds.
Better.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Because the first time he sees that, she tells him he doesn't belong here.
Here we go. A flat head. Model MT.
But for those who know, that doesn't happen until later, and she's not talking to him. She's talking to Johnny. So I kind of cut that to make it that way.
We removed the serial number and lifted access locks using our soft. What's yours is yours.
What's yours is yours.
You need to see it.
Suit yourself. Fucking tricked out this thing. Dynamic thermal optic camo armor. Full cognitive immersion with a Raven controller. Pimped out prototype actuators made of titanium, vanadium, Kevlar composite. And watch this.
I love this fucking shit, man. They did such a good job with some of these characters in here and parts of these scenes. It made it easy for me to edit it this way. To like cut that into this kind of action sequence where he's talking about this robot with this rock music kind of playing off in the background. They made it easy for that to happen. And if you're playing the game in itself, they don't have much going on back there. It's just kind of you're there and you're talking to them. I personally feel that Maelstrom would be rocking the fuck out if they had a hideout like this. They'll be jamming music like crazy.
Suit yourself. Fucking tricked out this thing. Dynamic thermal
Fucking
optic
dum-dum.
camo armor. Full cognitive immersion with a Raven controller. Pimped out prototype actuators made of
This bitch.
titanium
This bitch
vanadium
back here. Look at him.
camo
Look at him
composite.
peeking.
And watch this. Fully integrated link 2. So when the spider starts crawling up walls dangling from ceilings.
Mm-hmm. Could lose your lunch.
So what you think?
Huh. Raven's not the dedicated control unit for a flathead.
Ha! Course not. Militech controllers auto-link to Militech systems. I mean, you wouldn't want them tracking their stolen tech back to your hands. Yeah, Raven's our baby. Got improved neural sync and no fucking pesky tracing. You ask me, we ought to sell that shit.
Yep, we'll take it.
Free. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Let's see your cred.
Brick got it. It's all paid up.
Brick got it. I don't see any fucking brick around here, do you?
Come on. Can't expect me to pay for this thing twice.
And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? You'll pay twice because
I say
you'll pay twice. Alright. You want the flathead? I better see some eddies.
Seeing as you already got the eddies for it, you ought to offer us a discount. A big one.
A discount? Fuck.
Relax. Got him right here.
Just like that. Without
Yeah,
batting
well,
a
that'll get
fucking
shot in the
eye.
fucking face.
Want
That's
it
a
or
simple
not,
move
I
to
got
make.
places to
You know what I
be.
mean, am I crazy?
You know, you never did say who sent you. Never did say who you're working for.
Dexter Deshawn. That's who.
Dexter Deshawn. The lord ass who punching animal
roll
fucked
another
half of
Bleezy.
Pacifica? I mean, he ain't dead.
One more thing, Mr. B. Quiet life or a blaze of glory. Hmm?
No, he's alive, well, and kicking.
Hell yeah. Jackie goes so fucking hard, man.
So you're gonna...
One more
Jackie goes so hard. They took him away from us too soon.
blaze of glory.
Way too soon.
Hmm?
No, he's alive, well, and kicking. And he sends his regards.
So you're gonna consider my offer now? Cred's on this.
I just sit my ass back down.
Hey, Flathead's good gear. It'll do the trick for you, whatever the trick is.
They're breaking in! Zero! I want heads!
Unload on him, B! Cut loose! Fuerte, cabrón! Shit! Gotta reload! Mierda. Cut off.
Virus must have tripped a security protocol.
Grab the gear. Bot and control shard. Quick!
Got the said. Bot and controller.
And let's go. Oh, quicker the better. Ay, huele feo, this meat. Ah, I can taste it.
It's a production line. Plus, I thought you loved me.
Really no other way. Oh, good. Let's move it. Let's go.
Smoked him, choked him out. Did him dirty. Trying to get a little background context.
Careful now.
See what I'm doing. I don't want to be showing how to do this part. Never on camera. Because I say I'm not, I don't want kids watching my shit, but I can't control what people do.
Oh shit, I know this fool. It's Brick. It's your call, V. What do you want to do?
Detonator armed. Been in here a while?
Like a fucking few days. Kinda lost count. Some guys loyal enough to care slipped me stuff, tried to help out. Royce threw him in the microwave dryer. Made me watch.
Guess it's kind of your fault we're here. Came for some tech Dex bought.
He tell you to free me?
No, just to pick up the bot.
Classic fucking Dex.
Looking a little like we might have saved your skin.
Think we're due a favor, hombre.
Jesus, slow down, maybe. I'll get you, but kinda caught me at a bad time. We ever meet again, I'll have you covered.
I think he was lying. There was said to be a new update, and I want to know what.
Good morning, Night City! Yesterday's body count lottery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood, thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed, cause the NCPD will not let that go. Got another blackout in Santo Domingo. Netrunners are at it again, poking holes in the power grid. While over in Westbrook, trauma teams scraping cyber psycho victims off the pavement. And in Pacifica, well, Pacifica is still Pacifica. This has been your man, Stan. Join me for another day in our city of dreams.
What the update consists of. Okay. Feel like a Ripper. Ripper Dots can't keep up with their style. Give them another chance. New tattoos, eyes, cosmetic, face, eyewear, and are available. Not sure where to start. Playing Jane the Primus Punk. Oh, that's what they just did. Push your photo skills to the limit. Spend more time with your loved ones. Learn this nice city a thing of the past. Okay, we already knew that patch 2.0. Okay. So like nothing new. There's nothing that I see. Nothing. I don't see anything. All right. Well, that's okay. I thought there was gonna be something on there, but it doesn't seem like it. So I'm going to try to restart this stream, and I'm gonna figure out why my audio won't be coming through the game, because the homies want to play Rivals, and if we're gonna be doing that, then I want y'all all to be able to hear the gameplay as well. So, and if I'm gonna jump on Cyberpunk, if I want to get back to playing that for you all, I want y'all to be able to hear the audio as well. So I'm giving a shout out to Clayton Graham. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to you and your wife. Hopefully y'all are having a fantastic start to the weekend. And I'll be back on here as soon as I get that all squared away. But also, if I do miss y'all, and y'all do end up, if anybody out there ends up missing the stream, then I'll be on tomorrow. I just got a couple things I got to do early, so I'll be on probably mid-afternoon, and then we'll kick it for the rest of the day. So that's going to be about it. But for right now, I'm going to shut this stream down, and then I'm going to try to get this thing squared away. If I get it squared away in enough time, I'll pop back on here for a little bit. And if I don't get it squared away, then I'll just tune in tomorrow. Hopefully by then I'll have it all figured out. All right. Sending y'all love. Thank y'all for kicking it with me. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Oh, also, shout out to my freaking, to my member, Simon Robinson. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the love support. You know what? Hug on Simon, y'all.